My family demanded I postpone my wedding for a decade, so my unemployed brother could get married first. They said it would look bad if the younger sister beat him, so I eloped without telling anyone. My brother Danny is 34 years old and hasn't held a job in 6 years. He lives in my parents' basement, plays video games until 4 a.m., and calls himself an entrepreneur because he once tried selling phone cases online. He made $47 total. My parents think he's going through a rough patch. This rough patch started when he was 28. I'm 29. I have a nursing degree, a stable job, and a fiancé named Ryan who proposed last spring after 4 years together. When I called my parents to share the news, I expected excitement. My mom's first words were, "What about Danny?" I didn't understand. What about him? He's the oldest. He should get married first. It would look bad if you walk down the aisle before your brother even has a girlfriend. I laughed because I thought she was joking. She wasn't. Dad got on the phone. "Your mother's right. Danny's been struggling. If you get married before him, it's like rubbing his failures in his face. Can't you wait a little? Wait how long exactly? Until he gets his life together, finds a nice girl, gets stable. That could take years. Then it takes years. Family comes first." Ryan was sitting next to me during this call. His face said everything. The next few weeks were a nightmare. Every conversation with my parents circled back to Danny. Mom called crying, saying I was being selfish and cruel. Dad said I was always the difficult child, never thinking about anyone but myself. My aunt sent me a 3-page letter about how birth order matters in our culture, and I was disrespecting generations of tradition. Danny himself called me. "You're really going to do this? Make me look like a loser at your wedding while everyone asks why I'm still single? You could try getting a job and meeting someone. That's easy for you to say. You've always had everything handed to you." I worked 2 jobs through college. Danny dropped out junior year because classes were too early. But sure, everything was handed to me. The family meeting happened at my parents' house on a Sunday. My parents, my aunt, my uncle, my grandmother, and Danny, all sitting in the living room. I thought maybe they'd finally come around. Instead, they presented a timeline. "We've discussed it," Dad said. "We think 10 years is reasonable." 10 years? Danny needs time to find himself, get a career going, meet the right person, plan his own wedding, then you can have yours. I looked around the room. Every face was serious. My grandmother nodded like this made perfect sense. "You want me to wait until I'm 39 to marry the man I love so Danny can figure out his life first?" Mom reached over and patted my hand. "It's not that long when you think about it. Ryan will understand if he really loves you. And if he doesn't wait, then he wasn't the right one anyway." I stood up slowly. "I need to think about this." Everyone smiled like they'd won. Dad said, "Take your time. We knew you'd come around." I drove straight to Ryan's apartment. We talked for 3 hours. Then we made a decision. The following Saturday, we drove to the courthouse 2 towns over. Ryan's best friend and my coworker came as witnesses. I wore a white sundress I already owned. He wore his good suit. The judge was kind. The ceremony lasted 12 minutes. We signed the papers, kissed, and walked out as husband and wife. I didn't tell my family for 6 weeks. We went on a small honeymoon, moved into our new apartment together, and started our married life in peace. When I finally called my parents, I kept it simple. "Ryan and I got married last month. I wanted you to know." The silence lasted maybe 10 seconds. Then my mother started screaming, not crying, screaming, words I won't repeat. Dad grabbed the phone. "You went behind our backs after everything we discussed? You asked me to wait 10 years. I said no. You've humiliated this entire family. What are we supposed to tell people? That our daughter snuck off like she was ashamed? I wasn't ashamed. I just didn't want to wait a decade for Danny to grow up." The fallout was immediate. My grandmother said I was no longer welcome at Sunday dinners. My aunt blocked me on everything. Danny posted online about fake family members who only care about themselves. My parents called Ryan's parents to complain, which was awkward since Ryan's parents had known about the elopement and supported it. 3 months have passed. I've seen my family exactly once, at a cousin's birthday party. My mother looked through me like I was invisible. Danny made a comment about how some people think they're better than everyone else. My father shook Ryan's hand but wouldn't meet my eyes. Here's the thing though, my life is good. Ryan and I come home to each other every night. We cook dinner together, watch movies on weekends, plan our future without asking permission. I'm not waiting for Danny to find himself. I'm not putting my happiness on hold so my parents can save face. Last week, my mom texted me. "Danny met a girl online. They've been talking for 2 weeks. He thinks she might be the one." I didn't respond. Maybe in another 10 years he'll actually marry her, but I won't be waiting around to see. I already have my ring on my finger and my husband beside me. Some decisions don't need family approval.